Hello 10th class students, as we have completed 4 chapters, now I am going to start atomic structure. So before starting the atomic structure officially of 10th class, what you have to do is you have to go through with the textbook of 9th, which includes atoms and molecules in it. So here I am giving you a few videos of basics which you have to watch before I start the expression for chapter atomic structure or structure of an atom. This is a very important chapter. Entire chemistry starts from here. So the foundation which you need for chemistry is like starting from this particular chapter. So go through with the topics of ninth first, read the textbook and watch the videos. Then like after 3 or 4 videos I am going to start the explanation for a structure of an atom.
Hello friends, this video on atom and molecules part 12 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please pay attention here, little tricky concept here. Let's understand the mole concept. For example, hydrogen will react with oxygen to form water. This is a balanced chemical reaction. Now, to validate this reaction in the lab, we have to weigh hydrogen, we have to find the weight of oxygen, and we have to find the weight of water. What do you think is the minimum amount you can weigh in the lab without using very hi-fi instrument? It has to be in grams, right? You can measure 1 gram, 2 gram, or even milligram, but let's say gram is a standard value. So this way you can do in grams. Right? Weight in grams. But if you remember the concept which I told you, this equation signifies that one molecule of hydrogen is reacting with half molecule of oxygen, or let's balance, let's make it like this, let's double this. 2 molecules of hydrogen react with 1 molecules of oxygen to form 2 molecules of water. Okay. So the concept was that 2 molecules of hydrogen will react with 1 molecule of hydrogen to give 2 molecules of water. But actually you can't weigh 1 molecule, because the weight of 1 molecule is very less. Actually, scientifically it is seen that 1 atom of hydrogen is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 24 gram. This was done by some scientist, but it is very difficult to measure the weight of 1 atom of hydrogen. So in the chemistry we talk about, in the labs we talk about numbers, right? Huge numbers, 1 gram, 2 gram. This is 10 to the power minus 24. Okay. So with this calculation, if weight of 1 atom of hydrogen is this many grams, so number of hydrogen atoms in 1 gram, hydrogen will be how many? 1 by 1.6 10 to the power minus 24, and that is 1 gram by this gram, gram cancel. Solve this, you get 6.2 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. So 1 gram of hydrogen will have these many atoms. These many atoms will actually form, this is less, but a lot of tons and tons of this atom. This is 6.3 into 10 to the power minus 10 to the power 23 atoms, like this piled up, will form only 1 gram of hydrogen. Okay, simple maths. Okay, now it is seen that even 12 gram of carbon also has these many atoms. 16 grams of oxygen also has these many atoms. And if you remember, these are molecular mass of hydrogen, carbon, oxygen. Right? This becomes a very unique number because molecular mass, like the general formula, molecular mass grams of any atom has these many number of atoms. You take 12 gram of carbon, 14 gram of nitrogen, 60 gram of oxygen, all these will have this many atoms. Right? This is what is seen experimentally. And if you see the history of this is called Avogadro constant. This number, this is a magical number. Nobody believed it will be the same. And if you see the history of this, 1811 actually, Italian scientist Voltas. This is guys Voltas. And in 1811 he proposed that the volume of a gas at any given temperature and pressure is proportional to the number of atoms. That was his proposal. Because in 1811 the chemistry was not advanced. So his theory was a big theory that time, that now we think it is implicit that the volume of a gas will depend on number of atoms. But that time it was not. Number of atoms at a given temperature and pressure. This is what he proposed. Right? Number of atoms or molecules. But the actual proportional value was not determined. In actually 1909, this guy, Jean Perrin, he determined this Avogadro constant. He found that 1 gram of hydrogen has 6.23 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. Okay. So the term mole was used now. Okay. And mole is nothing but molecular mass. If you see the word mole and molecular mass, molecular mass. So from this only this word mole came. So 1 mole of a compound is the molecular mass of the compound actually. Please be with me, it's a new term. 1 mole of compound is nothing but molecular mass of compound. That means 1 mole of carbon will be equal to 12 gram of carbon. 1 mole of oxygen will be equal to 16 gram of oxygen. So this reaction, instead of saying 1 molecule react, 2 molecules of hydrogen reacts with 1 molecule of oxygen, you can say that as well. We can say that 2 mole of hydrogen reacts with 1 mole of oxygen gives 2 moles of water. And we know that 2 moles of hydrogen is what? 2 gram. 1 mole of oxygen is what? 16 gram. So those things we know actually, right? So mole and molecular mass, this relation is something we know. So instead of saying, see all this word molecule, mole, molecular mass all came from the same word molecule. So instead of thinking from the molecule perspective, think from the mole perspective. You see mole. This is 1 mole maybe. And if this is 6.23 into 10 to the power 24. These many atoms consist of 1 mole. And 1 mole is nothing but this molecular mass, right? So 1 mole of compound is nothing but 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules or atom. When you talk about 1 mole of water, you talk about 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of water. Right? This is 6.023, sorry. Okay. When you talk about 1 mole of oxygen, you talk about these many atoms of oxygen. If we talk about I mean, it all depends if we talk about molecules or atoms. So 1 mole means these many numbers of molecules or atoms. Or you just assume molecules itself, no, right? So 1 mole means these many molecules, and these many molecules is nothing but molecular mass, because we have seen that these many molecules or atoms actually gives the molecular mass of the atoms or molecules. So now if you see, things are linked. Instead of talking about 1 molecule or 2 molecules, we're talking about 1 mole, 2 mole or 3 mole. Why? Because these moles actually can give me the grams, and these grams I can easily measure in the lab. This is as good as you have this equation. I'll just show you. So this is the equation you have here. Say 2 molecules of hydrogen react with 1 molecules of oxygen to give 2 molecules of water. You react, you multiply the whole equation with this number, the magical number. So with this I can say that 2 into 6.023 molecules of hydrogen will react with 1 into 6.023 molecules of oxygen to give 2 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of water. So 2 into these many molecules of water is nothing but 2 moles of, this into this is 2 moles of hydrogen, this into oxygen is 1 mole of oxygen, and this number into 2 molecules of water is nothing but 2 moles of water. So if you see, from the molecule perspective, from the molecule view, we are now in the mole view. 2 mole of hydrogen will react with 1 mole of oxygen to give 2 mole of water. Since we are in the mole, we can easily write the grams. See, 2 mole of hydrogen is nothing but 4 grams of hydrogen. 1 mole of oxygen is nothing but 32 grams of oxygen. And 2 mole of water is nothing but 16 plus 2, 18. 18 into 2, 36 grams. So now if you see, directly from the mole I can write the mass. And if you see here, the law of conservation of mass, 4 plus 32, 36 gram on the left hand side, 36 gram on the right hand side. Just understand this concept, very very important slide for the chemistry. I'll recommend you to pause this video, watch this video 3 or 4 times, 5 times. Make sure your concepts are clear, because this is the basic foundation of chemistry. You understand the mole concept, you understand why we were early talking about the number of molecules, 2 molecules of water, 2 molecules of hydrogen, 1 molecules of oxygen reacts to form 2 molecules of water. This is perfectly valid statement, but very very difficult to measure mass of 1 molecule. Right? You see, the mass of 1 molecule is so slow, very difficult to measure. You need really hi-fi instruments. We are okay to measure 1 gram, 2 gram. So this guy is Avogadro, and this Jean-Pierre came up with the concept of Avogadro constant. And with this, numerically and mathematically, if you multiply this whole equation by 6.023 into 10 to the power 23, there is the golden number. You see that 2 into these many molecules of hydrogen reacts with 1 into these many molecules of oxygen to give 2 into these many molecules of water. And these many molecules of any molecule or compound is nothing but 1 mole. If you talk about these many molecules of water, that becomes 1 mole of water. If you talk about these many molecules of oxygen, that becomes 1 mole of oxygen. These many molecules of hydrogen, that becomes 1 mole of hydrogen. These many molecules of carbon becomes 1 mole of carbon. Very very good number, magical number, 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. Avogadro constant, very very important number in the terms of chemistry. Right? So these many molecules actually is nothing but 1 mole. Why this came? Because now 1 mole, the moment I have mole, I can easily write the grams and I can easily validate my statements. 4 gram, 32 gram, 36 gram, very easy to measure in the lab as well. Okay, so please understand why we are doing all this circus is we don't want to measure, it's very difficult to measure the weight of 1 molecule. but it is easy to measure 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, and that is nothing but 1 mole, and that is in the grams. And the gram is nothing but the molecular mass. So this formula, that 1 mole of a compound is nothing but these many molecules of that compound, and it is also equal to 1 molecular mass of the compound. This is a very critical formula, very critical observation, and this will be using in a lot of questions. Okay. Since it is a very critical concept, let me write once again here. These many, let's say this is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules. This is equal to 1 mole, and 1 mole is nothing but molecular mass gram. So for example, let's talk about oxygen. These many oxygen molecule is nothing but 1 mole of oxygen, and that is nothing but 32 gram of oxygen. Because it's O2, right? 32 gram. Let's do the same thing for hydrogen, H2. So these many molecules is nothing but 1 mole of hydrogen, and that is nothing but 2 gram of hydrogen. So you see, this is the molecular mass. This is always 1 mole. You take any compound, it's always 1 mole. You take carbon, this will be 1 mole of carbon, and 1 mole of carbon is 12 gram carbon. Very important concept. Please note 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. Let's talk about molecules now, because most of them exist as molecules. Is nothing but 1 mole of molecule, and it's nothing but molecular mass of. The same formula is true for atoms. 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atom is nothing but 1 mole of atom, is nothing but 1 molecular mass of atom. Okay. And I also told you why this mole came, because it is convenient to refer the quantity of a substance in the terms of number of molecules or atoms rather than their mass. It's inconvenient. So we have this new term called mole. See why, I'll tell you. The moment I have this reaction C plus O2 is CO2, from this you can tell that 1 molecule of carbon react with 1 molecule of oxygen to form 1 molecule of carbon dioxide. You multiply 1 molecule with this musical number, you get 1 mole. You can say that 1 mole of carbon dioxide carbon reacts with 1 mole of oxygen to form 1 mole of carbon dioxide. Right? Because 1 molecule into this magical number is equal to 1 mole. Right? So looking at the equation, I can just say, but I can't say that 12 gram reacted with 16 grams to give 30 grams. Those things I can't find just by looking at the equation. So it is more convenient to refer the quantity in terms of molecules or atoms. And molecules and atoms are directly linked. The only multiplication factor of this constant number. So that means it is very convenient to write in mole also. But it's very difficult to write in the terms of grams. Just by looking at the equation, you can't say that 13 gram reacted with 18 grams or 19 grams. But looking at the equation, you can say that 1 mole reacted with 1 mole or 2 mole. Okay? And 1 mole, we just showed you, that is of any species, atom, molecules, ions or particles. This mole concept is not only for molecule. This is for a molecule, it can be for atom, it can be for ion, it can be for any particles. Okay? So, or any particles. Right. So 1 mole of any species is the quantity that is quantity number having the mass equal to the molecular mass. For example, 2 gram of hydrogen, or 32 gram of oxygen, or 71 gram of Cl2, 18 gram of water. These are all 1 mole. You see, 1 mole. Now all these will have how many particles? These magical number 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. Please note it is experimentally determined and it is called Avogadro constant. It is all experimental value. Okay. So let me repeat this mole concept once again. See, one hydrogen atom mass we have seen was 1 unit, or one oxygen atom mass we have seen was 16 unit. Correct? Or one water molecule here, not atom, mass we have seen was 18 unit. This is one mass of one atom or one molecule. Okay. Now you multiply this whole thing with this magical number 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. Hydrogen atoms will be 1 unit into, these will also be multiplied, and this will be value will be equal to 1 gram. Multiply this also. So if you see, this is 1 into this is 1 gram. 60 into this will be how much? 16 gram. Simple maths. This also you multiply. So 1 into 6.0, Avogadro number was 1 gram. So 18 unit into Avogadro number will be 18 gram. And these are nothing but, if you see, molecular mass. So please understand once again, 1 mole is nothing but a pile of 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules, or it can be atoms. That is 1 mole. And this term was introduced in 1896 actually, and this was given by Ostwald. He gave this term, and it's actually derived from Latin word of heap. This is a heap, right? Or pile. So the Latin word of heap is mole, and also it is similar to molecule. That way also, and this term came from this Latin word meaning heap, right? Why? Because the substance is considered to be a heap or pile of atoms or molecules. That is 1 gram. Okay, and that is the concept of mole. Thank you. Visit our website examfear.com to watch more and more quality education videos. You can also attempt free online tests that are there in our website. You can also get access to tons of free study materials, and you can also find free tutors and mentors in this website. Thanks a lot for watching. Hello friends, this video on atom and molecules part 13 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Let's take some examples to practice. So we have to find the number of moles of the following: 52 gram of helium. See, you have to find the number of moles. So 1 mole of helium is how many grams? Is the molar mass of helium? That is 4 gram. So 4 gram is 1 mole. 4 gram of helium is 1 mole, then 52 gram of helium is how many mole? So 52 gram of helium will be how many mole? So let's do the math. 4 gram of helium is 1 mole. So 52 gram of helium will be how many moles? 1 by 4 into 52 mole. You solve this, you get 13. So 52 gram of helium is nothing but 13 moles. And 13 moles is 13 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. because we're talking about the helium atoms. Okay. The next is these many number of helium atoms. Find the moles from number of particles. So we know that 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms of any substance, let's take helium here, is equal to 1 mole. So if these is equal to 1 mole, these many number is equal to how many mole? Let's see that. Equal to 1 by the old value multiplied by new value. You solve this, you get 2 mole. So these many particles is nothing but 2 mole of helium. Okay. Let's take some more. So we have to find the mass of 0.52 mole of nitrogen gas, 0.5 mole of nitrogen atom, and these many numbers of atoms. So we have to find mass. Please note in all these cases you have to find the mass. Okay. So mole is given, you have to find the mass. We know that 1 mole of element weigh molar mass in gram of that element. That means 1 mole of nitrogen gas will be how much? Nitrogen is 14 into 2, 28 grams. That is 1 mole of N2 gas. So if 1 mole of N2 gas is 28 gram, 0.5 mole of N2 gas will be how much? 28 by 1 into 0.5, that is 14 gram. Done deal. The second is 0.5 mole of N atoms. Please note this was molecules, this is atom. So again, 1 mole of N atoms will be how many grams? 14 grams. But the molecular mass of N atom will be 14. Molecular mass of N2 will be 28 because there are 2 N here. So 0.5 mole of N will be 14 by 1 into 0.5, that is 7 gram. Please note that N atoms and N2 gas both are different. Then third is this many number of atoms. So we know that 1 mole of element with this many, we know that, but 1 mole is nothing but 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 particles. These many particles will be 1 mole and that will be molecular mass. So we know that 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 N atoms is equal to 1 mole of N atom, and that is equal to 14 grams, right? So let's ignore this one part now. So we'll have atoms, particles and the weight in one equation now, and that's what you have to find. These many atoms is 14 grams, so these many atoms is how many grams? So these many atoms will be how many? 14 by this value 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 into this value. You solve this, you get 7 gram, and that is the answer. Pretty easy. Let's take some more example. Here we have to find the number of particles. In the last example, we found the mass of the whole sample. Here we have to find the number of particles in a given sample. Here the mass of the gram is given, mass of this is given, mole is given. So we know that 1 mole is 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 particles for any ion, molecules, atom, doesn't matter. Golden rule. And 1 mole is nothing but molecular mass in gram if you want to find the weight. So the first thing given is 46 gram of sodium atoms. First, let's find the number of moles in these. We know that 23 grams of sodium atom is equal to 1 mole. Right? The molecular mass of sodium is nothing but 1 mole. So with this, 46 grams of sodium will be how many moles? Obviously 2 moles. Correct? You can do maths. So 2 mole is what? 2 into these many particles. That is 2 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 particles. You can do the maths. It will be 1.2044 into the power 22 particles, or 12.044 into 10 to the power 23 particles. You can do that maths. First part is done. Second part, similar, 8 gram of oxygen. So we know that oxygen 16 into 32 gram of oxygen molecule implies 1 mole. So 8 grams of oxygen molecule will imply 1 by 32 into 8. These many moles? 1 by 4 moles. And 1 by 4 moles is nothing but 1 by 4 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 particles. This is molecules, so I can write molecules only directly. You solve this, you get 1.51 into 10 to the power 23 molecules. You can write particles, general word, or you can use molecules. Here it was atom, so I can write atom as well. Done. Third is pretty simple, 0.1 mole of carbon atoms. So we know that 1 mole of anything is nothing but 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 particles. Here we talk about atoms. So 1 mole of carbon atoms will be this many atoms. So 0.1 mole will be what? 0.1 mole of C atoms will be 0.1 into this value. About 23 atoms, and that is nothing but 6.023 into 10 to the power 22 atoms. Okay. The question is 1 mole of carbon atom weighs 12 gram. We have to find the mass of 1 carbon atom. So we know that 1 mole of carbon atom is what? 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms, and this weigh 12 gram. So mass of 1 atom will be how much? 12 by 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 gram. Solve this, you get 2 into 10 to the power minus 23, almost approx. So that is the mass of 1 carbon atom. Okay. The question is, which has more number of atoms? You take 100 grams of sodium in place, 100 grams of iron in one place, and the atomic mass is given. So to find the more number of atoms, we can just find which has higher number of moles, because number of atoms is directly proportional to mole. We have seen that 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms is 1 mole. So let's find the moles in both cases. So for sodium, 23 is the atomic mass, so 23 gram of sodium is 1 mole of sodium. So 100 gram of sodium is what? is 1 by 23 into 100 mole of sodium, approximately 4 mole of sodium. Let's find the moles of iron. Iron is 56. 56 gram of iron implies 1 mole of iron. So 100 gram of iron will imply 1 by 56 into 100 mole of iron, and that is almost equal to 2 mole of iron. This is 4 mole, this is 2 mole. This is 4 mole, that means it is 4 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. This is 4 mole, that means it is 2 into 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 atoms. So which one is more? Obviously iron is more because this is 4, this is 2. So sodium has more atoms. Sodium is more. Right? It has more atoms. Thank you. Visit our website examfear.com to watch more and more quality education videos. You can also attempt free online tests that are there in our website. You can also get access to tons of free study materials, and you can also find free tutors and mentors in this website. Thanks a lot for watching. Hello friends, this video on atom and molecules part 14 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Let's do a recap of what we have done, and after that we'll do some numericals. We have seen that during a chemical reaction, sum of the mass of reactant and the product remains same. Right? We have seen that carbon plus oxide is equal to carbon dioxide, and we have seen this in this, let's suppose 12 gram of carbon and 32 gram of oxygen was used, so we got some 44 gram of carbon dioxide. Right? All the reaction happened. So mass of reactant and mass of product is always same, right? This is law of conservation of mass. The second thing we studied is in the pure chemical compound, elements are always in the definite proportion. For example, you take water from any source, you take water from well, ocean, river, doesn't matter. You'll always have 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecules of oxygen combined to form water. This is called law of definite proportion. Atom is the smallest particle of the element that exists independently and retain all its chemical property. Very few, but mostly it is in the form of molecule. For example, you will see oxygen molecule, right? But some case atom also exists independently. For example, helium. Okay, molecule is the smallest particle of element that is capable of existing independently under all conditions. And it shows all the chemical property. Right? Please note there is a can here, and this is under all conditions. That's why I told oxygen can exist, but oxygen typically exists in O2 or O3 form. This is molecule form. Right? And this shows all the property, and this retains all the property here. So you can actually break a molecule to atom, and that will exist independently under some condition. But this is molecule exists under ordinary condition. We talk about the chemical formula. It shows its constituents elements and the number of atoms of each combining element. For example, water molecule formula is H2O. It says that there is 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen combined. And we have also studied the rules to write chemical formula. Cluster of atoms that act as ions are called polyatomic ions, and they have charge. Example, SO4 minus, NO3 minus, right? CO3 2 minus. These are all polyatomic ions. And the chemical formula of a molecular component determine the valency. We have by valency we have seen that. For example, HCl +1 -1, you do a swap, you get HCl. Water, H and O +1 -2, you do a swap, you get H2O. This is something we have seen. Ionic compound, the charge on each ions is used to determine the chemical formula. So for other thing we use, for covalent we use actually the valency, for ionic we use typically charge. And scientists use relative atomic mass to scale actually to compare the atomic mass of different elements. and carbon 12 isotope is assigned the benchmark, and every other element relative atomic mass is considered or is calculated or is calibrated using mass of carbon 12 isotope. Right? In the history we have seen earlier, hydrogen was used, then oxygen, and then carbon 12. Avogadro constant, this is 6.22 into 10 to the power 23. This is the number of atoms in exactly 12 grams of carbon 12. Okay, and the mole of a substance is nothing but any thing which has exactly 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 particles, or it is nothing but the molecular mass amount of that particular substance. So as I told, the mole is the amount of substance that contains the same number of particles, and the particles can be atoms, ions, molecules, etc. That is there exactly in 12 gram of C12, and there is nothing but this number. Also we told mass of 1 mole of substance is nothing but its molar mass. Okay, let's take some numerical now. 0.24 gram sample of oxygen and boron was found by analysis to contain 0.096 gram of boron and 0.144 gram of oxygen. Find the percentage composition by its weight. So I have a sample which has oxygen and boron. So oxygen and boron. Okay, it contains 0.096 gram of boron. 0.096 gram of boron and 0.144 gram of oxygen. Let's add these two values. So when you add this, you get 0.24, and that is the total sample. Correct. Okay. So we have a sample 0.24 gram which has 0.144 gram of oxygen and 0.96 gram boron. We have to find the percentage composition of compound by weight. The percentage of boron will be what? Mass percentage. Will be what? Mass of boron by mass of sample into 100. Put the value. Mass of boron is 0.96. Sorry, 0.096 by 0.24. This is gram, this is gram, and this is 100. Gram gets cancelled. You solve this, you get 40%. Similarly, mass percentage of oxygen, you can actually say that this is mass of oxygen by mass of sample into 100. Directly you can say that is mass of oxygen is 0.44 by 0.24 gram into 100. You solve it, you get 60%. Or directly you can say that mass percentage of oxygen is 100 minus 40%. That is also one way, because there are only two compounds in this. To be on safe side, always calculate. Okay? Because let's suppose it has some X other compound that had some weight and total weight was not 0.24, then direct formula won't work. So better you calculate for all in the exam. So next question is, when 3 gram of carbon is burned in 8 gram of oxygen, 100 gram of carbon dioxide is produced. What is the mass of carbon dioxide formed when 3 gram of carbon is burned in 50 gram of oxygen? Carbon is burned in oxygen to form carbon dioxide. T is equal to 0. This was 3 gram. This is 8 gram. And this was 0 gram. T is equal to T. Some 11 gram of carbon dioxide is produced. Law of conservation of mass. That means all these gram is used, right? This becomes 0 and this becomes 8 plus 3, 11. 8 plus 3, 11. So 11 and this is 11. Perfectly fine. Okay. Now, again, this is one scenario. The second scenario is 3 gram of carbon. This is 3 gram, 50 gram of oxygen, 50 gram, and this is 0. So at T is equal to T, what will happen? See, 3 gram of oxygen will only react at the max with 8 gram of, 3 gram of carbon will react at the max with 8 gram of oxygen, nothing more than that, right? This is because in this case, both reactant and produce are, both the reactants are consumed, right? Carbon and oxygen is consumed to give 11 gram of carbon dioxide. So that means this will become 0 and this will become 450 minus 8. Only 8 gram will be used, and here you get 11 grams again. So question is, what is the mass of carbon dioxide produced? So here also 11 gram of carbon dioxide will be produced. Only 8 gram will be used, and here also law of conservation of mass. If you see, at T is equal to 0 we had 53 grams, and T is equal to T we will have 42 plus 7, 53 grams. But note that if you provide excess oxygen, all the oxygen will not be used, it will be unused, right? So that means when you burn a matchstick, all the oxygen on the earth doesn't get vanished. Only the oxygen required to burn that matchstick is used. Other oxygen, remaining oxygen, is still in air. Here also in second scenario, what we are doing is we are pumping in more oxygen. But to burn 3 grams, only 8 gram of oxygen is required. To burn 3 gram carbon, only 8 gram oxygen is required. So only 8 gram of oxygen will be used, and the remaining will be unused. Okay. And actually you can prove this typically, because law of conservation by mole also, 1 mole of carbon reacts with 1 mole of oxygen molecule to give 1 mole of carbon dioxide. 1 mole is 12 gram, this is 32 gram, right? So 12 gram reacts with 32 gram, or divide each of by 4. What do you get? 3 grams react with 8 gram, and that's what we have seen, right? Because the common number we can divide. 3 grams of carbon will react with 8 gram of oxygen. So even if these numbers are not known, even if these numbers are not given, directly if you have this question that 3 grams of oxygen reacts with 50 grams of 3 grams of carbon reacts with 50 grams of oxygen, how much carbon dioxide is produced, you should actually be able to find out using the concept of mole. Thank you. Visit our website examfear.com to watch more and more quality education videos. You can also attempt free online tests that are there in our website. You can also get access to tons of free study materials, and you can also find free tutors and mentors in this website. Thanks a lot for watching. Hello friends, this video on atom and molecules part 15 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. What are polyatomic ions? Give some example. See, polyatomic ions are clusters, groups of atoms that always have some fixed charge attached to them. These charges can be positive or negative. For example, ammonium ion, OH minus ion, NO3 minus ion, CO3 2 minus ion, SO4 2 minus ion. These are the common ions, polyatomic ions. They are the clusters of the groups of atoms with a fixed charge. Charge can be positive or negative. We have to write the chemical formula for these compounds. Magnesium chloride, I have magnesium metal, chlorine non-metal, plus 2 charge, minus 1 charge. Let's do a swap for charge balance. This becomes MgCl2. Okay. The next is what? The next is calcium oxide. So let's put that. So we have calcium, we have oxygen, plus 2 charge, minus 2 charge. Let's balance it. This becomes 2, this becomes 2, 2 common, we get CaO. The next is copper nitride. Copper is a metal, NO3 is a non-metal, so plus 2 charge, minus 1 charge. Polyatomic ions, so I put in braces now. So this becomes 1, this becomes 2. This becomes Cu, NO3, 2. Aluminium chloride, AlCl, plus 3, minus 1. Swap it, this becomes AlCl3. calcium carbonate, this is calcium, this is carbonate, plus 2 minus 2. This becomes calcium carbonate. Okay. So we have to give the names of the elements present in the compound. Quicklime. Quicklime is calcium oxide. Hydrogen bromide is HBr. Baking powder, remember this baking powder, this is NaHCO3. Potassium sulfate, K2SO4. So we have to find the molar mass of these compounds. C2H2, 2 carbon, 2 hydrogen. 2 carbon is 2 into 12, 2 hydrogen is 2 into 1, that is 26 gram. Sulfur 8S8, so 8 into 32, that is 256 gram. Phosphorus P4, each phosphorus is 31, 31 into 4, 124 gram. HCl, 1 hydrogen, 1 monochlorine, 35.5. You add them, you get 36.5 gram. Nitric acid, 1 hydrogen, 1 nitrogen, 14, 3 oxygen, 3 into 16. You solve it, you get 63 gram. So here again we have to find the mass of these compounds. The first is the mass of 1 mole of nitrogen. See, 1 mole of nitrogen is nothing but the molecular mass, and it is atom, so it is nitrogen atom, that is N, so that will be 14 gram. That's all. Second is 4 moles of aluminum atom, so each mole is 7 grams, so 4 will be 4 into 27, that is 108 grams, because it's aluminum atom. Third is 10 mole of sodium sulfide. 1 mole of sodium sulfide will be how much? 2 sodiums, it's 2 into 23. 1 sulfur, sulfur is 32. 3 oxygen, 16 into 3, this many grams, right? That is 126 grams. So 1 mole of Na2SO4, Na2SO3 actually is 126 gram. So 10 moles of Na2SO3 will be 10 into 126 gram, that is 1260 gram. Okay. Again here you have to convert to mole. 12 gram of oxygen. So 12 gram of oxygen is what? Oxygen gas. Oxygen gas is O2. Please note, this is not oxygen atom. This is O2, oxygen gas. So we know that, but 23 gram of O2 gas is 1 mole. So 12 gram of O2 gas will be how many? 1 by 32 into 12, that is 0.375 mole of oxygen gas. Done. 220 gram of water. We know that water is H2O, 16 plus 2, 18. 18 gram of water is equal to 1 mole of water. So 20 gram of water will be how much? Very simple. 1 by 18 into 20 mole. And you solve this, this is 1.11 mole. Next is 22 gram of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide molecular mass, if you see, carbon is 12 plus 16 into 32, that is 44 gram. That means 44 gram of carbon dioxide is 1 mole of carbon dioxide. So if 44 gram of carbon dioxide is 1 mole of carbon dioxide, then 22 gram of carbon dioxide will be 1 by 44 into 22 mole of carbon dioxide. And this will be 0.5 mole of carbon dioxide. It is easy. Here you have to find the mass. Mass of 0.2 mole of oxygen atoms. Oxygen atoms is O2. So we know that 1 mole of oxygen atom is 16. Sorry, oxygen atom is O, not oxygen gas. 16 gram. right? So 0.2 mole of O atom will be 0.2 into 16 is equal to 3.2 gram. Please note, it is oxygen atom, is not oxygen gas. If it is oxygen gas, we'll take O2. 0.5 moles of water molecule is H2O. We know that 1 mole of water molecule is 2 plus 16, that is 18 gram. So 0.5 mole of water molecule will be 0.5 into 18, that is 9 gram. Okay. The next question is calculate the number of molecules of sulfur present in 16 gram of solid sulfur. Number of molecules. See, 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules in 1 mole, and that is nothing but 8 into 32 grams, that is 256 grams. So we know that 256 gram of sulfur molecule will have 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 molecules of sulfur. I want 16 grams. 16 grams of S8 will have 6.023 to 23 into 16 by 256 molecules. You solve this, you got 3.76 into 10 to the power 22. These many molecules will be there in 16 grams of solid sulfur. Let's take the last question. We define the number of aluminum ions present in 0.51 grams of aluminum oxide. So let's see aluminum oxide, Al2O3. You break this into ions, you get 2 aluminum, 3 plus, 3 oxygen, 2 ions. Okay. So aluminum oxide, 1 mole of Al2O3 gives actually 2 moles of aluminum ions, right? Correct. This is something we know from this equation. So we can find the moles of Al2O3 in this gram of aluminum oxide, because here the grams of aluminum oxide is given. We can find the moles of aluminum ions. If we have the moles of aluminum ion, we can easily find the number of aluminum ions. So Al2O3, the molecular mass of Al2O3 is what? Aluminum is 2 aluminum, 2 into 27, 3 oxygen, 3 into 16, 48 plus 54, 102 grams. So that means 102 grams of Al2O3 is equal to 1 mole of Al2O3. And we are talking about 0.051 gram of Al2O3. So that means we have 1 by 102.51 mole of Al2O3. So you solve this, what you get? You get this by 1000 if you remove this dot, and this is 2. So 1 by 2000 moles of Al2O3, right? So these moles of Al2O3 is nothing but twice of these moles of aluminum ion. That is from this equation 1 mole of Al3 plus ion. This gets cancelled. That means it is nothing but 1 by 1000 mole of Al3 plus ion. But what we have to find? We have to find the number of actually ions. So 1 mole of Al3 plus ion is nothing but 6.023 10 to the power 23 ion. So these many moles of Al3 plus will be this many moles into a magical number. So you solve it here is equal to magical number 6.023 into 10 to the power 23 ion, and that is nothing but 6.023 into 10 to the power 20 ions, and that is the Thank you. Visit our website examfear.com to watch more and more quality education videos. You can also attempt free online tests that are there in our website. You can also get access to tons of free study materials, and you can also find free tutors and mentors in this website. Thanks a lot for watching.